Ever felt overwhelmed trying to incorporate new habits into your life? You're not alone. It can be tough to stick to a new routine, especially when life gets busy. That's where habit stacking comes in. In today's episode, we're continuing our deep dive into our 5-part series, The 1% Difference, and talking about habit stacking and lifestyle design. Let's get started. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast. My name is Jason, and you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created on Podbean via Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and iHeart. Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. Now, if you'd like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Welcome to episode 73, The 1% Difference, Part 3, Habit Stacking and Lifestyle Design. So when we think about habit stacking, I want you to think of it like building a tower of blocks. You start with a strong foundation, and then you add on one block at a time. In this case, your foundation is the existing habit, and the blocks are the new ones you want to add. For example, if you're already brushing your teeth every morning, you could stack a new habit on top of that, like flossing. So instead of just brushing your teeth, you'd brush and floss. Over time, the new habit becomes as automatic as the old one. So what are some of the benefits of habit stacking? Let's take a look. The first one is simplicity. It's a straightforward approach that doesn't require a lot of willpower. For instance, if you're already making your bed in the morning, you can add a new habit on, like stretching right after. This simple addition can improve your flexibility and energy levels without that much effort. The next is consistency. By tying new habits to existing ones, you're more likely to stick with them. Let's say you want to start journaling. Instead of trying to journal at a random time, you can stack it onto an existing habit like eating dinner. Every night after dinner, you take a few minutes to write in your journal. Finally, efficiency. You can save time by combining habits. For example, if you're already going for a walk, you can listen to an educational podcast while you're walking, like I do. This way, you're not only getting exercise, but you're learning something new. I love my Audible and I love my audiobooks. So when I do my morning walks, I'm either listening to a book or some kind of motivational content that keeps me going. Remember this, the key to habit stacking is to start small and gradually build on your success. Don't try to do too much at once because you can easily get overwhelmed. Okay, let's get into the second part of this, designing your ideal lifestyle. So now let's talk about how small habits can contribute to creating a fulfilling and meaningful life. Think about your ideal lifestyle. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What kind of person do you want to be? Well, your habits are the building blocks of your lifestyle. By choosing the right habits, you can create the life that's aligned with your values and goals. For example, if you want to be a healthier person, you might incorporate habits like regular exercise and healthy eating. If you want to be more productive, you might prioritize habits like time management and effective planning. James Clear once said, and I quote, "Small habits can have a big impact on your life. They're like compound interest for personal growth." So remember, it's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about making small, consistent improvements over time. The key is to be patient and persistent. Now, before you start habit stacking or stacking habits, it's important to identify your core values. What's truly important to you? What do you want to be remembered for? Once you know your values, you can align your habits with them. For example, if you value family, you might prioritize spending time with loved ones. If you value learning, you might incorporate habits like reading or taking courses. Do this right now. Take a few minutes to think about your core values. What are they? How can you align your habits with them? Stop the podcast, take a few minutes, and think about it. So did you do it? Did you stop the podcast? Did you think about what your core values are? Well, good. That's exactly what we want. We want you to be an active participant in this process. So congratulations for those of you who did. For those of you who haven't, why not? Stop, take a few minutes to think about what your core values are. How can you align your habits with them? Get involved in the process. You'll thank me later. So let's continue on with the role of environment. Your environment plays a crucial part in habit formation. If your environment is set up for success, it'll be much easier to stick to your habits. If your environment is working against you, it will be much, much harder. For example, if you want to eat healthier, you might stock the fridge with healthy foods and avoid keeping junk food in your house. Sometimes that's easier said than done, right? If you want to be more productive, you might create a designated workspace that is free from distractions. Another quote from James Clear is, "Your environment is a powerful force that shapes your habits." So make sure your environment is supporting your goals, not hindering them. So there you have it. Habit stacking and lifestyle design are powerful tools that can help you create a fulfilling and meaningful life. Remember, it's about making small, consistent improvements over time. Start by identifying your core values, aligning your habits with them, and creating an environment that supports your goals. All right, everybody, it's that time for our actionable takeaway. Are you ready? Okay, so what I want you to do is, for today, choose one new habit you want to incorporate in your life. Stack it on top of an existing habit you already have. Be patient and persistent. Remember, small habits can have big impacts. So let us know how you're doing. Let's be accountable to each other, folks. You should like and subscribe, and don't forget to follow us on social media for more motivational content. That's it for today, folks. Join us next week for part 4 of the 1% difference, where we'll talk about the importance of overcoming challenges and setbacks and how they can help you achieve your goals. This has been the Catalyst Podcast. My name is Jason. You can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear this podcast on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and Podbean. Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. Now, if you'd like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. I want to thank you so much for listening to episode 73, part 3 in our series. We'll see you next time for part 4 of the 1% difference, episode 74. Thank you so much for listening. Go be great.